Hi, I'm Anna. On this very special episode of the China Forum, we are covering the U.S. China Policy Foundation's 22nd Annual Dinner Gala. We are here to ask questions from a few special guests, and thank you for watching. Hi, I'm with the U.S. China Policy Foundation. I'm speaking with Dr. Lampton.
Glad to be with you.
How would you characterize Trump's visit to Asia? Would you say there are any clear winners or losers, or just how would you characterize the results of that trip?
Well, I think any time the two countries are able to address serious issues is good. I think there was a little progress on the economic side, not frankly much on the North Korea issue. So I would say it was better that the trip happened than not happen. But in the annals of landmark trips, I would say this isn't in the top 10.
What effect would you say that Trump's personal relationship with Xi Jinping will have on foreign policy between the U.S. and China going forward, if any?
Well, I think in all human relationships, having a personal connection and ability to be candid with somebody is a positive, but in the end, in international affairs, what matters is how the interests of each of the parties is advanced. And so I think it's often a useful and necessary condition to have good relations, but it's no substitute for progress. And as I said, I think there was modest progress on the economic side.
How would you describe the state of U.S.-China relationships as it is right now under President Trump, and what's the most significant way that it has changed since President Obama left office?
Well, I think it's in a fragile state. I think you could imagine how it would move to higher levels of quality relationship. But in terms of how it's different, I think it is more vulnerable to developments in a single area, in this case Korea, than in any time I can remember. So that it's a relationship that's fragile strategically, and if you remember when Nixon and Mao got together, it was strong precisely because of strategic considerations. And what bothers me most now is that in both societies we seem to have people who see the more competitive, conflictual dimension of relations rather than the cooperative. And then we add on that the uncertainties of the Korean Peninsula. And I think China is absolutely dedicated to stability on the Korean Peninsula, even more than denuclearization. And the administration seems to be committed to denuclearization at all costs.
So in regards to the Korean Peninsula, do you see room for cooperation between the U.S. and China?
Sure, and I think the first thing that we need to do to cooperate is sit down and talk about various contingencies that might happen on the peninsula and how we can each act in a way that doesn't alarm the other. But thus far, China, to my understanding, has been reluctant to talk about that sensitive issue. But I think we need to talk about what we think's going on there and what our minimal interests on each side are, and how, if the situation were to break down, we'd each act.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.